Laramie Live on KOWB is back on AM 1290.
David Settle returning with you. It is a Thursday morning, and my pleasure to welcome back to the program. He's the head swim coach at the University of Wyoming. Tom Johnson joins me on the phone this morning. Good morning. How are you today on a Thursday?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Well, you certainly dropped a little bit of a bombshell this week, announcing your resignation at the end of the season. And so I'm like a lot of people. I guess we'll start with why now, why this time. What kind of went into the decision for you, TJ?
About a year or so ago, maybe it was not even quite a year. I was looking into some opportunities, and I noticed this group out of Denver called Swim Labs, and I was pretty impressed with what they do. I just think it's a terrific opportunity. It's a little scary. I've never been in business before, and that end of it's been enlightening and a little scary, but I'm looking forward to a new challenge, and it's an exciting time. I know, like the Casper Star-Tribune said, I was retiring, and while I would love to, I'm not quite at a position to retire at my age.
Well, obviously it's been a big, long run for you. What are your thoughts when you think about coaching here for 19 seasons, this one being your final one, and just everything that's kind of gone, the ups, the downs, the twists, the turns, and certainly lots of bright spots and bright moments, and certainly probably plenty of unusual moments in there mixed in with some special relationships. What do you kind of reflect on here now as you kind of go down the stretch, at the same time a balancing act with trying to continue to coach this team through the remainder of the season?
Yeah, and that really hasn't been a challenge. I've known for a little bit. I mean, Cheryl and I have talked about this for quite a while, and so the coaching end of it's easy for me. It's like it's a grinder, and especially this time of the year. And, there isn't really no time of the year that it's not a grinder. But, I love the grind. And so the special times, obviously Scott making the Olympics, that always comes up. But there's been tons of other times. And Terry last year even, scoring at NCAAs and platform diving, and the fact the last 3 All-Americans in diving have been on platform, yet we don't have a platform. Missing I think it was 2009 or 2010, watching the BYU coach about have a stroke because we were winning going into diving with 2 events to go at the Mountain West Conference Championships, and the women were almost won a title. And the opportunities the guys have had to win titles, they fell about 7 or 8 points short a couple of times. And while they are immensely disappointing to not win those titles, and I think most importantly, the relationships that, I've had over my time here, and the special people I've gotten to know, and the people in Laramie are so awesome. I'm getting choked up. And it's been our home and where we've raised our kids.
Yeah, no doubt. Talking with Tom Johnson this morning here as stepping down after 19 seasons at the helm, and no shame in getting emotional. It's been a good tenure for you. I mean, you came out here to school back 82 to 85. You coached as an assistant here, and then you kind of crisscrossed back and forth across the country a little bit, down into Colorado, and then back to New York and down into Alabama, and then you came out here. Can you think back to that opportunity back in the late 90s and just kind of what was going through your mind, if you can think back, close to 20 years ago, about, getting the opportunity to coach here at your alma mater, and what that meant to you even at that point in time?
Yeah, and I won't forget it. I can remember kind of how it all played out, and Coach Moon was here at the time, and Cheryl was really excited about the opportunity to be closer to her parents who live in Cheyenne, and for the opportunity to come back to coach at your alma mater. I know Dave Marsh, who at the time was the head coach at Auburn, was very, very helpful in helping me get this position. And I've always been super proud about being the head coach here, to be able to coach at your alma mater where you went to school, it was a little weird at first coming back and all your friends are gone. You're like, where'd everyone go? and then finally I found Hudson, and, that relationship really grew, and Cheryl and Margaret are great friends. And then Brad Harder comes back to town, and, the friends hate the Moores, and there's so many people in town that, we're just such good friends with and always will be.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, visiting with Tom Johnson, stepping down from his position at the end of 19 seasons at the end of this year. What will you miss the most, TJ?
Oh, probably the competition, the level of competition, and something at this high of a level. And, I think that will be the most, the part I'll have to get out of me the first. Mm-hmm. There's plenty of things I won't miss, the 14-hour days, and that's pretty much self-inflicted too. I don't know any other way to do it.
I understand that, because I was going to ask you what will you miss the least, but it sounds like that. And
yeah, calling recruits after a full day on deck, and literally I'm on deck like almost 6.5 hours a day, and then, you go to morning practice, choke down breakfast, come back here, try to get stuff done by noon, and then go back to practice in the afternoon and choke down dinner, and then come back here and call recruits till 10 o'clock at night. I don't know if I'll miss that aspect of it. But, the relationships that you have with the kids on the team and the coaching staff and people who are in the athletic department, and that's going to be the part I'll miss the most.
You've been the head coach as long as I've been around here, and certainly we're going to miss you. There's no doubt about that. A little bit scary going into business when you haven't been there at the same time?
Yeah, I think no matter anytime you do something new, that it's a little scary. I have a friend who stepped down from a head coaching position in a Pac-12 school, and he said, it's a little scary at first, but once you get into it, you're not going to miss it at all. And he has been very comforting to me and helpful for me. But I'm excited about this opportunity. I think it's a different situation, a little more towards learn to swim. And I've seen a lot of former college head coaches. There's a couple in Phoenix who are doing the same thing. So right now we're looking at either going to Phoenix or Las Vegas, and trying to find a great site. And but there's also a competitive element to it as well. There's you have 4 endless pools, and you put them in a building, and you're trying to aim towards areas that have Whole Foods and Sprouts, and but they all have mirrors in them. They have underwater video equipment, dartfish software programs, and who else better to learn from than someone who coached an Olympian? And I think, one of the things that kind of motivated us too, one of the things I feel like I'm really good at is camp. Mm-hmm. And the camps have been big and successful, and the kids love coming here. I got a lot of heartbroken emails and about camp, but why not do camp year round? Without having to house them and feed them and all that.
There you go.
I'm excited about that end of it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, and I think your competitive nature certainly will serve you well in the business sector. You kind of got that competitive drive. So, well, we will certainly miss you. I appreciate you kind of breaking things down for us, and best luck the rest of the way. We'll probably catch you later as we get closer to the championships in mid to late February there.
Thank you, David. I appreciate it.